The unexpected decline of Evelyn King. 10 decisions. That is what it took to move Evelyn King from the top of the R&B chart to the edge of a sound she helped build. She was a teenager when she cut the record. Gold before she was old enough to drink. 2 number ones. A voice people still play in rooms where nobody knows who's singing, and then a decline that nobody predicted and almost nobody has ever explained properly. I'm going to explain it. 10 decisions, counting down, and number 1 is the one I want you to carry out of here. 10. The name they gave her. Before I tell you what was done to this woman, I need to tell you who she was when they found her, because that is the part that makes everything after it land the way it does. Evelyn King, born in the Bronx, July of 1960, raised in Philadelphia, one of 8 children. Her family called her Bubbles when she was small. She came from music. Her uncle, Avon Long, was a Broadway performer. Her father sang at the Apollo. Her mother worked at Philadelphia International Records. Her mother and sister had jobs cleaning the offices there. And that is where it happened. A producer named Theodore Life, T-Life, was working one night at Sigma Sound Studios when he heard vocals coming from a washroom. He found a teenager who was cleaning the studio after hours with her mother. The song she was singing was "A Change Is Gonna Come." Hold that image. A girl with a mop singing Sam Cooke into an empty hallway at the studio that made Philadelphia soul. And then RCA signed her, and the first thing they did was change her name. They added a word, champagne. The nickname connected back to Bubbles, what her family had called her as a baby. But in the label's hands, it stopped being a family nickname and became a marketing instrument. It was there to make a teenager sound like a woman who had been somewhere. She picked up some notoriety as a teenager, singing adult-themed songs in an adult-sounding voice. That was the pitch, that was the product, and here is how well it worked. When the record was climbing, it would have been reasonable to assume the singer was one of the era's seasoned background vocalists finally getting her turn in front. She wasn't. She was a teenager. The persona arrived before the person did. People bought her before they knew her. And I want to be precise about this. That is not a small thing. A name you were given by a marketing department is a name a marketing department believes it can take back. Remember that sentence. Talk. Only 9% of you are subscribed. That hurts. We're spending hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life. And if you're watching this far, you clearly care. So hit subscribe. It's free and takes 2 seconds. Now, to my subscribers, barely any of you have joined the membership. And honestly, that stings even more. You know the work we put in. You keep coming back. If these videos have ever made you feel something, if this music means something to you, join the membership. It's $1 coffee a month, and it's the only way we keep this going. Let's build this together. All right, back to it. 8. The genre that became a liability. In 1979, she was 18 years old with 2 gold singles behind her. Let me tell you what she was building before I tell you what fell on it. Her second album, Music Box, arrived March 19, 1979, produced by T-Life with Bill Green and Sam Cooke. It's also notable for featuring Luther Vandross on background vocals. It reached number 12 on the R&B albums chart and number 35 on the Billboard 200. Luther Vandross, on her backgrounds. Before he was Luther Vandross to the rest of the world, that is the room she was in. And by the summer of 1979, disco had become a word people used as an insult. The backlash was national, and it was ugly, and it was not remotely about the music. Records were destroyed in a stadium, radio formats flipped overnight. Careers that had been engineered around a dance floor were told there was no dance floor anymore. She was not a disco singer. She was a soul singer with a fastball. The versatility she showed on her first album proved she could adapt to the rapidly evolving sound of contemporary R&B, funk, pop R&B, Quiet Storm. But the file cabinet doesn't care what you actually are. It cares what tab you're under. And I want to be clear about something before we go further. There is one entry on this list where what happened to her was not the weather. It was not a trend. It was a decision made in a room by people with jobs. We are going to get there. I want you watching for it. 3 charting records and multiple gold certifications before she turned 20, and an industry that had already decided what she was allowed to be next. Because in the very next year, the label stopped guessing about her and started intervening. 7, the album, RCA pulled off the shelf. This is the one most people have never heard of. It is also the first time somebody decided her instincts were a liability. 1980, she is 20. She and T-Life go back into the studio wanting more room, harder edges, rock in the funk. King and T-Life were striving for more flexibility and fighting an uphill battle. The album was called Sweet Delight. It came out, and then RCA recalled it. The album was pulled only weeks after release. RCA replaced most of the edgier, rock-fused funk with more middle-of-the-road entries, and reissued it retitled and reconfigured as Call on Me. And I bet you she would never do. The original LP was withdrawn and retitled with a new track listing. 4 tracks disappeared entirely, replaced by 4 newly recorded ones. Call on Me came out September 8, 1980. It peaked at number 58 on the R&B albums chart and number 124 on the Billboard 200. From gold records to number 124 in 2 years. And I'll say plainly what no press release ever did. And I bet you she would never do. The problem was not the record. Her commercial prospects weren't looking favorable, partly because the people behind the scenes did not have a fully formed understanding of her talent. Whether they made that call consciously or not, I think you already know the answer. All the things I did for you. Somewhere out there, Sweet Delight exists as a withdrawn artifact, a vinyl pressing that was recalled before most people ever saw the sleeve, an album that went into the world and got dragged back out of it. That is what it looks like when a label decides an artist's ambition is a risk.
And the decision after this one removed the only person in the building who had never once doubted her. 6. Losing the man who found her. Let me tell you who this man was before I tell you what his absence cost. T. Life heard a girl singing through a washroom door and decided she was going to be a star. He signed her to his own production deal. He coached her on recording technique. He was instrumental in preparing her career. He produced Smooth Talk. He produced Music Box. He produced Call on Me. He is the reason any of this exists. And in 1981, RCA replaced him. T-Life was replaced by the multi-instrumentalist Kashif and songwriters Maury Brown and Paul Lawrence Jones III. And here is where I have to be honest with you, because this channel does not simplify things to make a point. It worked. I'm in Love hit #1 on both the soul and dance charts and number 40 on the Hot 100. The album reached number 6 R&B and number 28 pop. She has spoken about it plainly herself. She wouldn't call the new producers a better fit than T-Life, only a good match for that moment. Her point was that if you stay in the same place too long, people get bored. She is being generous. She usually is. But something ended in that room that never came back. Not a sound, a relationship. The only working partnership in her career, built by somebody who had heard her before there was a product to sell. The party goes on forever. She got a number 1 and lost the person who found her in the same 12 months. Both of those things are true. The industry only ever reports the first one. 5. The treadmill. In 1982, she was on top of the entire R&B chart. Let me show you exactly how quickly that gets spent. Get Loose arrived August 11, 1982. It peaked at number 1 on the R&B albums chart and number 27 on the Billboard 200. Love Come Down topped both the R&B and dance charts and climbed to number 17 on the Hot 100. Betcha She Don't Love You followed, also written and co-produced by Kashif. Number 1 album, number 1 single, 22 years old, and then RCA put out 3 more albums on an annual basis through 1985. One a year, every year, and a different creative team every single time. Face to Face, So Romantic and A Long Time Coming had her working with Solar Records mastermind Leon Silvers III and Foster Silvers, Andre Simone, The System, Jimmy Douglas, Rufus's Bobby Watson and Hawk Walensky, and T-Life again. So Romantic alone, released October 16, 1984, listed producers including Cliff Magnus, Glenn Ballard, Carl Sturken and Evan Rogers, Hawk Walensky, Jimmy Douglas and The System, 6 production teams, 1 album. And I need you to hold that for a moment, because it is the whole thing in one detail. An artist who is rebuilt from scratch every 12 months is an artist with no through line, no signature, no identity a listener can follow from one record to the next. So Romantic peaked at number 38 on the R&B albums chart, 2 years after a number 1. She never stopped delivering. They stopped deciding who she was. 4. The last time pop radio played her. This is a specific date, a specific chart position, and a specific ending, and almost nobody noticed it at the time.
Now, I'm really out in space.
1984, Just for the Night, from So Romantic, charted at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was her last top 40 pop hit.
The beat really turns me on.
That's it. That's the last one. After that, pop radio never came back for her. She kept having a high level of R&B success. The pop hit simply stopped after a long time coming.
Just a little bit of guitar.
A Long Time Coming was her final album for RCA. It produced the top 10 R&B hit, Your Personal Touch. And it included a remake of Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come, the song she had been singing when T-Life discovered her at Sigma Studios.
It really makes me shout, oh Lord.
Sit with that. 9 years in, on her way out the door of the only label she had ever known, she recorded the song she'd been singing with a mop in her hand at 15 years old.
Go, I play my music bound. It really makes
She parted ways with RCA in 1986 and signed with EMI.
when I'm digging on my radio. Can't think of nothing.
Count what she handed that label. 8 albums, multiple gold records, a number 1 album on the R&B chart, 2 singles that topped both R&B and dance, a song that is still played every weekend in 100 cities.
Now, I'm really out in space.
And if this name is new to you, that is not your failure. But it does not have to stay that way.
You know, it's got me rocking and reeling my music box.
Some of you are going to look her up when this ends. Good. That is exactly the point of this.
So in love with my radio. Up on my hands and my feet.
She gave them the whole decade. They gave her a release date once a year and then stopped calling.
Just a little bit of guitar.
3. The name they took off the record. This is the story I mentioned earlier, and now that you have the full picture, you'll understand why I said what I said. Go pull up her 2 biggest post-disco records. I'm in Love, 1981. Get Loose, 1982. The ones with I'm in Love and Love Come Down. The ones that topped R&B and topped dance. Look at the artist credit. It says Evelyn King. RCA opted to remove her nickname from those releases. The same label that invented champagne to sell a 16-year-old as a grown woman took it back off 5 years later. The same word they used to build the brand, deleted from the label copy at the exact moment that brand was worth the most it had ever been worth. She has said she told them at the time that nobody would know who Evelyn King was. And that, she says, is precisely what happened. She said it out loud, in the room. And they did it anyway. I know, I felt the same way when I found this. Take a second with it. Because this is not neglect. Nobody forgot to include the word. Somebody typed it, and somebody deleted it, and somebody signed off. That is an act.
There's no excuse, I got plenty juice, so come on baby, let's get loose.
So today, her catalog is split down the middle. The disco records say Evelyn Champagne King. The number one say Evelyn King. Two names, one woman, one body of work, permanently fractured on the shelf. And I will say clearly what most people won't. That is how a name gets lost, not in one dramatic moment, in a credit line. 2. The years nobody talks about it. Everything I've told you so far has been about a business. This one isn't, and I want to handle it carefully. She finished the 80s on EMI, Flirt in 1988, and The Girl Next Door in 1989. Flirt gave her another major hit. She was still working, she was still delivering. In 1987, she had a daughter, born with brain damage. The child died 2 years later. She married the guitarist Freddie Fox in 1990, and then the recording largely stops. In the entire decade of the 1990s, she released one album, I'll Keep a Light On, in 1995, on Expansion Records, a British independent label. It featured Larry Graham, Billy Preston, and Jeff Lorber. I want you to hold both halves of that. A woman who had just lost a child, and an American music industry that, when she was ready to work again, had nothing for her. So the record came out of England, on an indie, for the people over there who had never stopped listening. Some of you just got quiet. That's the right response. Yeah. Because the standard version of this story calls the 90s her disappearance. That word is lazy, and it is wrong. Let me fulfill your desires. She did not disappear. She was living through something no chart position accounts for, and the business that had run her on an annual production schedule for 9 straight years could not find a single reason to make a phone call. She has said she never stopped working, and that plenty of others in her position gave up. She didn't. That is not a small thing, and I am not going to let it pass as one. Yes, it's your love, sweet honey, that I'm living for. 1. The credit that never came home. Let me tell you what this woman actually did to R&B music, not what she sang, what she changed. 1981 and 1982, I'm in Love, Love Come Down, drum machines, synthesizers, a cleaner, more open production style built around a big, unhidden voice. She was a major factor in pop-oriented R&B's transition into the use of drum machines and synthesizers, a sound her voice was perfectly suited to. That transition is the sound of the entire rest of the decade. Every synth-driven R&B record you can hum from the 80s is downstream of that moment. And she is standing at the front of it singing. Now go look at who gets named for it. Kashif. And Kashif deserves it. He wrote those songs, he built that sound, and he is one of the most important producers of that decade. I am not taking anything from him. But an innovation needs a voice to prove it works. Somebody has to make a drum machine sound like a person. She did that. And when the history is written, the producer is the pioneer and the singer is the performer. In 1994, Zhané covered Shame and reached number 28 on the Hot 100 and 12 on the R&B chart. In 2002, the original turned up in Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, on an in-game radio station, introducing it to millions of people who never learned whose voice that was. And on September 20th, 2004, Shame became one of the first records inducted into the Dance Music Hall of Fame at a ceremony in New York. I want to be precise about that. The record was inducted. The record. She is still here. Open Book came out in 2007, her first album in 12 years, with The Dance reaching number 12 on the Hot Dance Club Play chart. She has kept performing into the 2020s. There is a plaque with her name on Philadelphia's Walk of Fame. But there is no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. There is no documentary. There is a song in a Hall of Fame and a woman on a nostalgia circuit, and those two things are supposed to be the same story. They are not the same story. The music survived, the name didn't, and that is not the same thing.